Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Hallmark Christmas movies.
Hi, I'm Brian. I like Hallmark Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark Christmas movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast.
I almost said this is Christmas morning.
Hope you like this jolly podcast.
Wow. Hello, everybody.
The name of our own podcast.
Back in the
It's
bubble.
fantastic.
It's great to be here, everybody.
Oh, man.
So
if you're
great.
watching on Philo TV,
Getting a show.
Yep.
oh,
You're getting a real
man.
show. Our set is decorated.
It may as well be 4D. There's so much Christmas on the screen. You should be able to
Listen.
smell it.
Charge extra for this.
Yeah, we should.
The first two episodes, were from the marathon. The marathon was wonderful.
Oh, it was amazing.
But to come back into the studio and to have it decorated the way that it is, it makes me real happy. It's pretty tough to be having a bad day when you're surrounded by all this Christmas. Dan still figures out a way, but the rest of us,
I think the set looks amazing.
It is amazing.
Can we say that? I think it looks amazing.
course
Is it
we
weird
can.
that this is October? Yeah. Are we wrong?
Doesn't feel like it.
I mean, I guess, but this is our job, Bran. It's our job to cover Christmas movies that are new and released
Right.
before Halloween.
Right.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you want from me.
there's nothing that we can do.
There's nothing we can do.
This set looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
Does. man,
just kind of looking at
crushed it.
Look at that. Look
Brian
at
and
that.
I came in here early this
Super
morning.
early. Had to get this
Brian
all
and I
done.
knocked all this out.
So just so Brand could walk into something special.
Yeah, Aaron and
No,
Brian
and-
came in and they were just kind of
And I
like
appreciate
meh
that.
about it.
No, I was not mad about it.
Aaron
I
was so
very
mad she
excited.
unplugged her microphone.
That's right.
She was so
did.
mad.
She's like, I'm not talking today.
She was
I'm
so
gonna
mad.
eat Twizzlers
Right,
over here
Aaron?
in peace.
Aaron, how you doing?
You got any more of those Twizzlers?
She got a mouthful.
I have so many Twizzlers.
We put her in Riggs'
you don't
box.
like
Wow.
Yeah, those are just
All
Twizzlers.
right.
We
Straight
put her
Whatever,
in.
fine.
We put her in Riggs' box for the day, and
He's on
Rick.
the loose?
I'm out of the loop.
Oh, no.
you're
I'm
out.
smoking cigarettes in the hallway.
Oh, boy. I thought that was just the coffee.
Nothing you can do about it.
Nothing we can do about it.
Ashes all over the side of the walls.
Rig, what'd you think of that marathon?
It was something, man.
Did you watch it all?
No, I didn't. I popped in real quick and did a bit about God.
Yep.
And I thought it was above board and great. And
Popped
I
in and
called
popped
it.
out.
I was out of here. I got sleep to get, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, what is Fitzy's doing for the holiday season?
Yeah, a
Do you
lot
got
of
any
things.
big things planned?
We do have our annual toilet bowl Christmas party. You get invited every year, and every year you say no. And I try to act like I'm not hurt by that. I show up for you all the time here. I
Yeah?
show up for you all the time.
You do.
Does.
And you never come to the toilet bowl Christmas party.
I have not come.
Just
Yeah,
flush
everyone
that.
just gets a toilet bowl cover and they put it around their neck.
Yes.
And they walk
Why?
around- Yeah, it's because it's the toilet bowl Christmas
That's
party.
why, yeah.
Why? Like, are you dumb?
Yeah. Brian, have you gone?
I've been actually, I have not. I tell people I'm invited. I've never been invited.
You've never been
Never been
invited.
invited.
I don't get
Wrigley,
invited.
why isn't
To the
Brian
toilet
getting an
bowl Christmas
invite?
party? You've
I mean,
never been
some
invited?
extra invites show up to the office for other people, and maybe I'm like, it's assumed that I just pick one of those up and take it, but I
You
would
think
never.
they're just there for everybody?
Community
you know?
invite. I don't know how he
Rig,
does
why
it.
are you
He
not
just-
inviting
I don't know how he
Brian?
does it.
I have thought Brian was Panda
Yeah, that
until
might
this
be.
point.
Ooh.
And that is on me, to be fair. Middle guy with glasses.
I was afraid of that.
I just,
We all
sometimes
look
I
the
gloss
same.
over it. Yeah.
So-
Once you put glasses on, I don't really.
But that means, Brian, that you have been invited because
I guess
Panda
I
gets
have.
an invite every year.
I guess I have.
You are cordially invited to
So
this
now-
year's toilet bowl Christmas party.
Wow. And I've been blowing it off all
Do
these
people
years.
decorate the toilet bowls?
Yeah, of course. What do you mean? They just have white porcelain toilet bowls?
That's what I was going to do.
That's
Boy,
disgusting,
that'd be
Brad.
silly.
I'm sorry.
Stupid.
What do they put on it?
Whoa.
I've been working with Dan on his impression of you. I think it's coming up. He's getting
All right,
there.
give it to
This
me.
is going to be good.
No, hey, I'm Brian. I love Christmas and movies so much. You look at all these lights. Aren't they cool?
Uh-huh.
Isn't that great, man?
Give me one more.
Oh, my gosh. I can just talk about Christmas forever.
You guys get to actor names yet?
Actor names?
Yeah, you guys start going over actor names? So, like Brand's impression of,
Oh, yeah. Like, how do you say an actor's name?
Oh, we're getting there.
some
Oh,
good
yeah, this guy's name is King of Benahanago.
Rick's doing a great job.
He's working with me, man.
Man,
He
that's
is.
really something.
It's all about the enunciation. That's all.
That's all. Guys, are you ready to dive into this movie?
Oh, yeah.
Under the Christmas sky.
We circled this one, gang.
Under the Christmas sky.
There's space and planetariums and probes. It's going to be great.
Probing real good. It originally aired on October 22nd.
Probing real good.
2020. You can't say that. You
said
can't.
it. You said it.
can't
You
say
so
that.
we both could say it.
No,
I can't
you have
say it.
you have different guidelines.
My pants.
Yeah. and it went a little something like this. We are at the National Space Program. Everyone's favorite NISP. Guys, do you want to go to
NISP?
You guys want to go to NISP later? Kat is waiting to hear from the space doctor to find out if she'll be able to get to go to the space station up in the old space, up in the outers. And bad news, the answer is no to that. You might be wondering, why is that? Well, she had an accident. And this accident has given her a permanent blind spot. And you can't have those when you are up in space. You need to be able to see fully. And so that's why she's not going to be able to go. So her brother Andy picks her up, committed to lift her spirits during her favorite time of the year. And so as much as she loves baking cookies, which she'll get to do, of course, and decorating the house, which, she'll get to do, of course, after a little bit of nudging, she decides that she's going to go to the planetarium to be a consultant. This is wonderful. Apparently they want one of those, except David, who's going to get the consultant, does not want a consultant. David says, my programs are fine. The kids don't seem to mind all that much. Sure, they fall asleep every once in a while, but they don't seem to mind. David's offended. So David and Kat go to talk to his boss about this mistake. It is not a mistake. His boss insists that she has the skills necessary to bring what's really necessary to this program.
She has the skills necessary to bring what's necessary.
Yep.
To the necessary things
that are necessary.
For the necessary. So naturally, they start hanging out, going curling, hanging out with each other, working in close proximity. And so they come up with a banger of an idea. Sure, we'll talk about the magic sun and all that stuff, Christmas sun or whatever it's called.
Sure.
But is that enough to bring the kids in? I don't know. To be safe, we are going to have a live Santa tracker during the program so the kids can keep up to date. So they'll get to learn about the sun and stuff, but also
big guy.
Yeah, in the sky.
Not the big guy upstairs.
No.
Different big guy.
Big guy in the sky. That's right. It's different. So everybody shows up. It's a big hit. But then the daughter gets sad. And so she goes over to try to cheer up the daughter. She does cheer up the daughter. And David is peed right the O off.
Yes.
He is like, how?
It does pee him off.
How dare you?
Completely legitimate.
Who do you? Can I ask you a question? Who do you think you are?
Yeah, who you are?
Like trying to cheer up my daughter, who was sad. That's my job. And so she's like, "Man, I thought we had something pretty special, but I guess we don't have anything special."
Read that wrong.
He quickly realizes that he done goofed, and so he makes up with her. She decides that she is going to go back to work for. I'm sorry, NISP. And that's really happy for her. And
Bless you.
Thank you. And they end up kissing, and they're going to live happily ever after, maybe. I don't know. And that, my friends, was Under the Christmas Sky.
We did it.
NISP.
Bless you.
I could believe that Ronnie Rowe's character in Inventing the Christmas Prince worked at NISP.
NISP.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
That's serious.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, and we will break this movie. Probe this movie real good.
Give it
here
a good
on
proper probing.
Here on
Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the
Probe
Hallmark.
edition.
Christmas morning.
Football in the bubble. It's not even football.
Hi, everybody.
Bubble, huh?
Coming to you 2024.
Man, episode 3 of the holiday season. We've already lost it.
That's right. Good. Well, we're off track again.
It's starting to hurt a little bit. I was trying to laugh along. I was trying to
Got a schedule.
good, but now it's starting to hurt.
Aaron's trying to talk.
What's that, Aaron?
Aaron's trying to talk.
Mics to make fun of you.
That's
Aaron,
true.
You have to speak up.
I did
see
give
you
them
can't.
mics.
Your mic is right there.
Hey,
I
Aaron,
cannot
turn on your
hear
camera
you.
instead if you
Like,
could.
if you could. Like, if you could just speak up.
Can't believe I made this mistake again.
Again.
Man,
Again.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe I made this mistake again.
I can't believe it.
Good. Another mistake.
Oh
Put it on
man!
the big board.
Oh man! Brand's so cute. That's Dan.
That's Dan.
We are here talking about this movie Under
have
the
to
Christmas Sky, and it's time for the hot take. It is where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. It's time for the hot take. It's where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back, and I'm going to kick it over to you.
Have we ever done this show before?
Listen, season
one time have we ever
Season one.
done Deck the Hallmark ever?
Yes, we
trying
have.
it out.
Yes, we have.
Trying a few new things.
Like, what is going on?
Well, the thing didn't show up, and I didn't want. I wanted to make sure the thing showed up, so I said
All
it
right,
again.
great.
It's time for the first segment of the show. It's time for the hot take. Brian, let's start with you.
Third time's the best.
Hot
Always.
take,
Yeah.
schmott take.
Well,
What'd you think about this
I think
movie?
you're downplaying it. So this one, I feel like it was Mr. Rogers who said,
Oh boy,
"In times of tragedy, you look for the helpers and the good."
did you look that up?
No, I knew that. I wanted to make sure I
have it
remember.
memorized?
Andrew Bushell, who played Andy, the
Don't
brother,
hide under him.
he was just that in this movie. Don't hide under the bushel.
No.
That was great. So I want to thank Andy for his service in this movie.
Is he a troop?
He just came through, and at times
is he?
he was a helper in
brother.
this situation.
Oh,
The
yeah.
brother,
Yeah.
Andy.
What are you talking about? Why
I
are
feel
you
You
doing
were,
great.
this?
you were supposed to be better today.
I thought
I promised the people.
I'm just saying, in times of tragedy, you look for the helpers, and I'm saying Andy was a big time helper in this movie.
But
Is
what do you-
all I'm saying.
What do you mean big time help?
He was great in this movie.
Okay.
You look for the helpers, the ones doing good, and he was doing good
Mr. Rogers
in
said
this
to.
movie. Mr. Rogers said so.
It feels like you're doing something, and I don't know what it is.
I'm just stating that he did a great job.
So your hot take on the movie is look for the helpers, and
I'm
Andy
just saying,
was
it's just
one.
as a reminder, look for the helpers, and I found one. It was Andy, the brother.
But what did you think of the movie?
I know the movie it was just okay for me. It was just okay, and it will end up on the lower. I have lower half of the bottom for me.
Yeah.
Not phenomenally up there as we start the season.
He's a helper, though.
He did a good job.
But is he only helping because he found a hottie? Does that matter?
No,
Does Mr. Rogers
no,
get into that?
No. It's not about that.
Okay.
Just in general. Just he was a helper.
He does help out at first,
This
and then
is-
he starts helping because he found a hottie.
But I also
Right?
just think this is the weirdest hot take of all time.
I'm just saying, when things are going rough, you look for the helpers.
But
and
that's not-
And he was
tell
an
me-
anchor.
So what he's saying
throughout this
here
movie, he was an anchor.
is what he's saying here, Dan, is that this movie,
That's what I'm saying.
this movie was tough, and so
That's what
what
I'm
Brian
saying.
chose
Guys,
to
we
do.
got 37
That's what
left
I'm
of these
saying.
bad boys.
What
If we
Brian
could
chose to do
have
was
some-
look for the helper.
I'm looking for the
and he
helper.
found the
Instead of
helper.
giving us his opinion on the movie, he just looked for a helper.
was
Well, what
So-
Brian, what
You played your
Brian,
helper
so
card,
clear
Brian.
cut.
I forgot to pass this along to you. We are doing helper of the episode.
Helper of the episode.
We
I'm not
are.
even prepared.
Well, look who looks silly now, Dan.
Yeah, it's right. No, it's me. It's Andy. Clearly.
Boy, bless you.
Yeah.
Well, Andy's a helper of the.
So, like I said.
Yeah. So it was just okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, Andy's the clear winner here as for helper of the movie. So shout out to Andy. That's a big win for him. No one actually saw it coming. I didn't. Yeah, this movie is just okay for me. I'm not offended by it. I wouldn't even say I was necessarily bored by it. The pairing was a little bit wonky for me. But overall it was fine. And I had a feel in this movie that like hit me real hard, and I didn't see it coming.
All right. Okay.
But and it's not just Andy and it's helping, even though I got emotional every
yeah,
time
of
he
course.
was
Helper of
helping
the
somebody.
week. Yeah, of course.
Episode.
But yeah, overall just okay. I would say currently, if I'm just talking about the three from weekend one, this is smack dab in the middle for me. This is
Wow.
smack dab in the
Better
middle.
than checking it twice.
I think I
Better
like
than
this
the
better.
hockey movie.
Wow.
How's that treating you?
Oh, that's.
I didn't think that was
didn't see
that
that coming.
crazy of a take. I'm sorry.
Ooh, I didn't
Wow,
see that
okay.
coming. Wow.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I think I feel differently about this than a lot of people. I've seen some people's rankings posted in our group. and
Okay.
I have it lower than most people
Okay.
I've seen. So,
So
I guess
some
I have
people,
to accept that.
a lot of people have it where I have it.
I
Like,
think closer to the
a
middle.
lot of people
than-
have it 2, not 3. Or are we throwing July in there
all
too?
the July,
throwing July in
movies,
there,
yeah,
too.
the ones
Yeah.
I've seen. So okay, maybe I'm a little off, but I'm still surprised the hockey movie over this. I mean, under this.
Well, so of the 5, mine's right. This is number 3, right down the middle.
Right down the middle.
yeah, number 3
For me.
okay.
there you go.
Okay.
This
Dana.
movie has a blind spot for quality.
Oh, come on. This is a real thing people deal with, Dan.
This movie is necessarily boring.
Why do you have to bring vision into it?
I hated this movie. I was bored to tears. The fake space stuff didn't hold up. I can't imagine being an actual scientist and watching this movie. These two, I don't think we've seen a Hallmark movie with Jessica Parker Kennedy. Am I wrong on that? Have we seen one with her?
I don't think.
Both her and Pavey are more than capable. They just don't really have a lot of chemistry in this movie. Not a lot to hang your hat on here. Not good. Definitely the worst of the weekend. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
The hockey movie, the scene with Kevin McGarry
trying
the eggnog is better than anything in this movie. I thought this movie was definitely the worst of the weekend and is going to be in the bottom half of my list. And unless Hallmark has a real bad year, probably going to be in the bottom 8 or 9 would be my guess. Hoping that it's in the bottom 5. Hallmark has a great year. But yeah, this was not very good. I didn't like, from a science perspective, I feel like I'd rather have something like Inventing the Christmas Prince that is full on Looney Tunes, second floor of an office building. We're trying to get a satellite on Saturn. Crazy. This was this weird, we can't use NASA and real space stuff, but we want to act like that we can. And that did not work for me at all. Why the planetarium needs this consultant so they can be more creative. You'd think the people that would be brought in from the NSP would make things more educational, less creative. None of it really worked for me at all. And it did seem to drag on for an eternity. So is it better than a Royal Christmas Crush? Yes. From this summer? Absolutely. So it's not the worst of the 5, but I do think it's the worst from the weekend.
Okay. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Let's get to all the feels. This is where we talk about what in this movie gave us those feels, right?
Can't wait to hear yours, Brand. But I'll just kick it off with the real softball. Mine was just the idea of the Santa tracker party. I think that's a good idea. I didn't like watching it that much. It didn't feel like a Santa tracker party to me. I don't know what I expected it to feel like.
What a great idea. Terribly executed.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fun
Yeah.
idea, though. A great theme for a little Christmas Eve party.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
What about the helper of the week? Who is that? Still Andy?
Oh, Andy's still
Good.
holding it
Good,
down.
Good, yeah.
So this sweet girl who is in a wheelchair loves the stars, and she meets somebody that works for NISP that is also in a wheelchair, and he's like, this place wouldn't run without me. And to see her put it together that she can do what she wants to do with her life, and that her dreams can come true. Like, look at this guy. I thought that scene was really powerful, and I thought that the little girl did a great job in that scene. And it made me feel really good inside. So there you go. There's my feels.
That's the best scene of this movie by Country Mile. I'm trying to see
How long is a country mile? Actually?
It's long.
Is it longer than a regular mile?
Long.
The actor's name is Emmy Richardson. Is that
Emmy?
Lily? Was the kid's name Lily?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not a picture for that actor.
Emmy.
I want to get the actor's name. I thought the actor did a great job, and that's the best scene of the movie. Without question, the best scene of the movie. A lot of this is so terribly, painstakingly insincere and inauthentic and doesn't ring true for any sort of space travel or education, but that scene is very good. I agree with you, Brayden.
Let's take one more break. We'll come back and we'll get to the what, the Hallmark, and the fighting chance with Vic Webster here on Deck the Hallmark.
Morning.
Christmas. Yes, we'll get there.
You're fine. You're fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about Under the Christmas Sky, the third movie of the weekend. A weekend that does not include 4. The only weekend that I know of that doesn't include just three measly movies. What are we even doing here, Hallmark?
It's warming up.
How are we going to get to 40? We're going to have to add one somewhere.
There is one the week of there's one random one.
There's one random
So
one.
rando.
It's a rando out there. Gotcha.
It's a random the movie. Let's do this. Let's get to the wait what. I'm going to start with you, Brian. Brian, while you were watching this movie, did anything stick out to you that made you go, wait, what?
Couple things. So it felt like there was so many Christmas trees.
Oh
and
my gosh,
wreaths,
it didn't feel that way. There was.
They had at least 7 in their house. I stopped counting in the planetarium. Just everywhere you went, it was like they were trying to disguise the fact that this was a Christmas movie set in a planetarium with Christmas trees and the like. And it was just a lot. It was a lot. It was distracting.
There were in her parents' house, The living room, I believe, had a Christmas tree in all 4 corners. I think at one point, I know I saw 3 on the screen at once in 3 corners. I think all 4 corners of their living room.
Yeah.
Even Brand would be like, maybe that's going to get in the way. The kids are going to knock something over.
Hey, Aaron, go to that one shot real quick.
Go to the one. Whenever you want the one.
3, 4.
This.
Okay.
Right
4
here.
Christmas trees. Okay.
I mean, I think we're like
Sure. Glass
doing
house.
okay too.
Glass house.
But we've only got 2 Christmas trees.
No.
These count
These
as
are
full
little
Christmas
guys.
trees.
Those
They
are
count
little.
as trees.
All right, excuse
No,
me.
they
In their
have
living room, they had 4 full-size
Big
Christmas
trees.
But also, this is we don't do anything else.
You,
We
what?
don't
But
live in
what you
here.
don't know is that the people can't see behind the camera,
That's
and
right.
there
On the other side of
is
the camera.
a plethora
We're
of
not
trees
showing
on the
that
other
off.
side of the camera. No.
So it was a little distracting. I don't think you can put up a sign in a room that doesn't have in a room that doesn't have big screens and is full of smoke and call it mission control. It has to have big screens and be full of cigarette smoke to be mission control.
The fact that they had the audacity
It's
to put the words mission control
please
on that room.
yeah.
How dare you?
Sitting there with
Act like
measly
you've seen
laptops.
a single movie before in
Come
your
on,
life.
we all saw all the Apollo.
Yeah, have any of us
get out of
seen
here?
Mission Control in person?
Dude.
No.
No,
But
no,
we
no,
are
no,
all
no.
pros on Mission Control because we've seen all the movies.
Nobody in a
There
short
are-
sleeve white shirt with a
There-
tiny
no,
little
no,
thin
little
tie.
glass.
Man.
There are more knobs and dials than you know what to do with in Mission
Yes.
Control. The screens, small to big, thousands of them.
What are they even controlling?
And this is like an office building that they slapped Mission Control
Yeah.
on.
Ugh.
Get out of here, NSP.
Classic NISP.
Who you think you are, I am.
It might be my naivete, but I feel like Pavey was a little underdressed for a planetarium curator.
not
like,
this guy.
I just feel like he should have looked a little more like a dork, a dweeb, like a little more dressed up. He always looked like the contractor who was there to build the exhibit rather than the guy designing it.
He does look like the contractor guy, but I want to remind you, he's the guy that doesn't want any fun in the presentations.
Right.
That's
No
my
fun.
favorite
That's
part of
true,
this. Is he's
yes.
like, they're going to learn something.
Yeah.
You can't just have fun.
So
I mean, we're
that
here at
was
the planetarium to learn something. Like, what are you doing,
Yeah.
bro? Like,
Yeah.
you're dressed like that. You at least should be the fun
Yes.
planetarium guy.
Yeah. He's be buttoned up.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Wear like a full tie suit thing every day. Only
Yes.
zero fun, sir.
No
like,
glasses.
Be the rigid guy.
Man. So and this is tough to say for me because usually
Because you've already given your helper of the week.
exactly. But enough with the Christmas cookies.
Whoa!
Like, how many times?
I'm done with you. I'm
How
muting
many
you.
times-
I'm done. You're done. You're muted. That's this. You can't do that. Here on the 3rd movie of the year, you're over here saying too many
Enough
Christmas
with the
Too
cookies.
much.
cookies.
Go
It's-
fall down
Go
somewhere.
fall in a hole.
Go fall down.
down the hole.
Nobody will write a review about that.
it's-
Nobody will write a review saying Brain was bullying. I'm just letting you know. Go ahead.
It was too much. It felt like every other line in her house was, "Oh, don't touch her cookies. Oh, the Christmas. Hey, you want a Christmas cookie? Hey, we're making Christmas cookies. Don't touch the Christmas cookies." Like, all right, enough. Come up with something else. Like, why are we talking about Christmas
If you
cookies
took
nonstop?
out the cookie talk and the probe talk in this movie, you'd
Be
have
nothing.
40 minutes
Yeah,
left.
you're right. It's so you got to
There's
do
a lot
something.
of it.
The
That's
last
true.
one was there was this scene. I took a picture of it. Obviously, a kid walked by the background during the Christmas Eve Santa tracker, and he could have been maybe chewing on a carrot, maybe biting a candy cane, but I'm 97% sure he was vaping.
97% sure he had a vape pen.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
real out of. It looked real close. So I didn't know it was that kind of party, that kind of Santa
Yeah,
tracking
this is a
party,
different
but
kind of Santa tracking party.
maybe that's
We've
what-
been to some of those, Bri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So maybe that's why it didn't look like like I thought it would.
Too many cookies.
Too many Christmas
Good
cookie. Too much
night.
Christmas cookie talk.
Too
That's
many
wild.
cookies.
So this movie kicks off with a doctor. A doctor's office that's inside NISP. I don't know.
Bless you.
I don't claim to know
Sure.
if there's a doctor on
question.
call at NASA 24/7. I don't know. But this doctor who is getting ready to tell somebody whose dream it is to go to space, that they're never going to be able to go to space. And his response when asked that, he's like, I wish I had better news. My hands are tied here.
was not
There's
very-
nothing I could do.
Yeah.
This doctor could not care less that he was breaking somebody's heart.
Yeah.
That he was crushing the dreams
Part
of this poor woman.
Part of your job as a doctor is to deliver bad news. But
Yeah.
this is a lifelong dream, and he is treating it like it's the common cold.
Right.
He's just like, you're never going to go to space. So there's that. I mean, I wish it was better. It isn't. So would you like a lollipop? Like, it is very, like, that's not how they would handle that.
I mean, I wish I had better news.
Look, my hands are tied here. If I could send you to space, I would.
I'd send you to space right now. I'd send you to space right now. Guys, I mentioned in the synopsis, but you cannot get mad at someone for helping your kid feel better when they're sad.
No.
Like, you can't walk, like, imagine, like, your kids were over in my backyard yesterday.
Right.
Imagine if one of them got hurt, and instead of actually one of them did get hurt. Ray cut his toe, and instead of just and just said, "Yeah, go deal with go get your dad. He'll deal with it." Yeah. Like, imagine if we were just like, "That's nothing." Like, I can't. I am not allowed to help you feel better. That's your dad's job. I'm just gonna look at you.
The best part of that actual story is that your wife immediately took Ray in and got him a Band-Aid. Your kid walked over to the fence and said, "Dan, it's bleeding." All right, Grizz, thanks for the heads up.
Hey,
buddy.
Dan, it's bleeding. I'm not going to give you any more info. Not going to give you any more info. It's bleeding. But him going up, it was as if like they were like, there has to be some tension in this movie, right? Like, what if she's sad and she helps him feel better, and then he gets real mad?
How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
In a public place.
Last but not least, as somebody who has been getting changed at work before and had somebody walk in on them and was embarrassed.
We've all been there. We're victims.
Obviously, that was a tough day for me.
What's that, Aaron?
The saving grace in this situation is that I was getting brutal. The saving grace of that is that I was getting saved in my office.
Yeah, saved.
I'm sorry. I was getting changed. I was getting changed in my office.
Still working through.
So I went into my office. I closed the door. I felt like I closed the door. I was in a safe space.
Speak up. Can't hear you.
I was in a safe space.
Should have been. You would think.
To go into the person that you like, go into their office and change, and then be like, "Oh my, you came in? This is the definition of don't make me sing.
Don't make me sing."
This is like, "Oh, don't make me get changed in front of you. There's nothing I could do."
I left the door unlocked and I'm changing in
your office where you might come back.
That's
this is different than when I get changed in my office, my safe space. Dan?
They are decorating this giant tree before the big Christmas Eve party, which that's one we have to mention, I guess. Guys, it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Well, when else are you going to track Santa?
People are spending time with their families, though. They're spending time
but
with
it's a live Santa tracking.
Yeah, the live Santa tracker where I believe that they mention out loud, what if we actually call air traffic control? How about we let those people do their job and save the planes, and you pretend to call them. Right. Or just fake call them. Kids
but there's also NORAD, who's the people that actually track Santa on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, of course.
Not air
NORAD already
control.
exists.
I don't want to.
They do so much on Christmas Eve in this movie, and Christmas Eve isn't like that at all. You spend that with your family. Typically, there's some traditions that you do that aren't these things. But they're decorating this tree, and at one point, she's up on a ladder, and they say, they established that one side of the tree is completely decorated.
Yeah.
And then they continue to decorate that side of the tree. They never decorate the other side of the tree. They continue to just heap ornaments onto the side of the tree that's already decorated and think that we won't notice. And I'm here to tell you we noticed. Andy and his newfound love interest are going to go to the old diner, Winkies, and they're going to get some shakes and bring it back. And they are back in maybe 30 seconds.
If that.
Yeah. They leave.
It's the magic of Winkies.
They come back.
That's what they're known for.
They got full meals. They get the milkshakes, and they made the food and everything. They're back in under a minute.
Their motto is actually, "You'll be back faster than Brian winking."
Wow. Well, that is not that fast,
call it
really. Yeah, that doesn't make a they're gonna do better.
Wink for the people on Philo.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Don't make me wink. And they're back already.
And they're back.
They would already be back.
Just like that.
Just got an R. Just got an R
the number of people at a Christmas Eve party is crazy. There is no world. This kid is the sneakiest kiss stopper of all time.
Sneaky kiss stopper. Yeah,
Sneaky
award.
kiss stopper. She is waiting.
Give her a decky.
She's just waiting, I think on 3 different occasions, just waiting for them to about to kiss or start to kiss to be like, hey, Dad, or hey, Cat, I need something. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's unbelievable that she is sitting there waiting in the wings going, I'm not going to come in yet. I'm going to wait until I know they're about to kiss. Do it once. Okay, whatever. Unlucky. Do it 3 times. I feel like there's something to be said there. This kid also gets a gift from Kat at the end of the movie, and it's a mini toy planetarium projector. You mean to tell me she didn't have one of those? Yeah. You mean to tell me her dad does that for a living, can get her anything in that gift shop, and she loves that kind of stuff, and she doesn't have a mini planetarium projector? She doesn't have one at home? Is her dad just like falling down on the job completely? It's crazy. And then lastly, I have to mention the fact that Ryan Pavey decided to give us a British accent in this movie.
Yep.
And boy, howdy, I don't know what I expected, but he changes the accent of his voice without changing the tenor of his voice. And it took me a second to be like, oh no, this is an accent that he's doing. I was so caught off guard that I rewound it and couldn't believe that was the decision that was made there. Brand?
Thank you, Dan. It's time for What the Hallmark.
Christmas morning.
It's where we talk about things that we're still wondering about, like who done it. Brian?
Yeah. I had a few. One of my questions was about the doctor does NASA have an optometrist or doctor on like a doctor's office?
Yeah, they had like a full built out office.
But my real one was during the Santa Tracker event. They did something that I saw it happen, and my first thought was Brand's going to be furious when he sees this, because we weren't allowed to do this at the parade, the Greenville Parade last year, and that was throwing candy canes out at the crowd. They were allowed to throw hard candy at unwilling people who might even not be looking straight ahead, might get something in the eye. Very dangerous. You're not allowed to do that.
No, that's tough.
Or are you now? Are we going to be able to do
Maybe
that?
This year at the Greenville Parade.
Brand new year. Start throwing
brand
out
new.
candy.
This is living. This is Greenville.
That new slogan, new rules. That's right. That was my understanding.
That Greenville is still part of it.
That's exactly right.
This is, that Greenville.
That's right.
So, I mean, my biggest question is just this party was fine, right?
Sure.
But it's still basically like, hey, here's a lesson about the sun thing with Santa sprinkled on top. How boring were his gatherings
before that?
Yeah. And like, you don't need a consultant. You need to fire him.
Yeah,
like,
he's gotta be gone.
Because it's not like this was like the most exciting party for children in the world. Like, it was fine, but this is Christmas Eve. Here's a lesson about the sun and Santa tracking. What was he doing before this? Right. Because on a scale of 1 to 10 on fun, like this party's like at a
4.5,
4.5, 5, like pretty mediocre. Like, what was he doing? Was it just like hard, like Ben Stein lectures on Saturn? Like, what were we doing? Dano?
I want to know if her parents always decorate like that for Christmas. What was the tradition that started that led to 4 Christmas trees per room?
Right.
Because you don't just fall into that overnight. Like if you are putting that many trees in your house, you're the Christmas tree family. Like you're the Treat Williams Christmas house family.
Right.
You're not just like, well, we're just going to throw up the decorations real quick. They're like, that makes your house look like it's just not festive. So how did they get there? What's the story there? Maybe it's a better movie. Who knows?
We did, everybody. Congratulations. The 3rd movie done. First weekend done. We
37 more, baby.
That's exactly right.
Oh.
But this movie is not fully done because while we were watching this,
I did.
Obviously, we're keeping a close eye on if there's any fights, but we're not trained.
That's right.
We're not trained to
We
look
get distracted all the time.
right.
If we had a martial artist that could come on to help us,
that's right.
Help.
That would be unbelievable.
Because obviously we know how to look for like wait what's and stuff, but we're not trained to know what a fight and what's not.
No.
So that's why we brought in Vic Webster, who is with us all holiday season long, taking a look at each and every one of these movies and letting us know if there's any fighting. Vic Webster, take it away, buddy.
Fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. What's the fighting in the movie? Did someone get hurt? It's a fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster.
You know, I thought for sure there's going to be some sort of a ninja star cookie throwing sequence in this one, but no.
A fighting chance with Vic Webster. Vic Webster!
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah,
we'll
good
try
stuff.
again
Thanks,
next
Vic.
time.
Next
Until
time, though,
then,
next
may we be the
time.
first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.